I'm Tony Leon. I grew up in Durban in South Africa in a very secular but liberal Jewish household. I didn't just want to be a politician, I wanted to be in politics to bring about certain results. And I had a very clear value system, which came from a combination of circumstances, my background, my parents, my community, but also my belief. Nelson Mandela invited me to an early morning breakfast at his home, very early, 6 o'clock. He liked to get up early. And he offered me a seat in his cabinet, and very tempting. We were at that stage at a 7-seat party, and I declined it with thanks and appreciation for the generosity offer, because I realized if I'd gone to the government then in 1997, rather than long after I'd retired, the DA went to government now, there wouldn't have been the possibility of building a democratic opposition in this country. It's important for non-ANC faces to represent the country in the world. Well, I was the most identifiable non-ANC face in the country at that time outside of politics. And the government offered me an ambassadorship, and I chose to go to 3 countries in South America on the menu available because I thought I could do interesting things there, important in trade, and I was sent as ambassador to Argentina and surrounding countries, and it was very absorbing. I was asked by the DA leader to be one of their 6 negotiators on this government of national unity. And, I wasn't looking for a role, but I was asked to perform it. And I just felt this was too important in terms of the national future to sit it out and say, well, I don't want to go back into politics. For 5 or 6 weeks, I was immersed in the front line of those, often hairy negotiations with the ANC. And it was very interesting. It was difficult because you've got 2 opposing forces from across 30 years of division, enmity, fairly, strong dislike in some cases. And they're having to come together not because they wanted to, but because the country election results demand it, and particularly because the alternative just outside the door, and it's still there incidentally, was the mass populist, racist, divisive EFF and MK. So if the DA couldn't get the terms right to enter the government, the EFF and MK would likely have become the government with the ANC. And I think that is really, to quote an apartheid prime minister, but still relevant today, an alternative too ghastly to contemplate.